If you look out over the Oslo fjord, right there, guarding Norway's capital, you'll see this absolute stone behemoth that's watched history unfold for 800 years. That's Akershus Fortress. And its story? It's all about kings, conflict, and culture. So let's dive into its incredible timeline together.
And I'm not kidding when I say preserved. This isn't just a pile of old ruins. Nope. It's a living, breathing piece of the Middle Ages, an incredible structure that's still standing today as proof of some serious engineering and, well, a very turbulent past. You know, if these stones could actually talk, oh, the stories they would tell. They'd tell us about royal ambitions, desperate battles, and a nation's fierce fight for its own freedom. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to listen in and try to uncover the secrets of this iconic Norwegian stronghold. So where does a story like this begin? Well, like a lot of great stories, it starts with the will of a king. See, the fortress wasn't just built on a whim. It was ordered into existence to solve a very, very serious problem for the young kingdom of Norway. You have to understand, the location was everything. The Oslo Fjord was the main waterway into the capital. Basically, it was the kingdom's front door. So by building a fortress right here, the Norwegian kings essentially put a giant lock on that door, giving them control over who came in and who stayed out. Pretty smart, right? Let's just trace how this whole thing came to be. It all kicks off in 1217. King Haakon IV needs a basic defense, so he gets the ball rolling. Then, about a century later, King Haakon VI not only beefs up the defenses with a massive wall, but he also adds a grand hall. And that signals a huge shift, from just a functional fort to a real statement of power and prestige. And believe me, these threats were constant and very real. Oslo was this tempting prize right at the end of a long, exposed fjord, a perfect route for any raider who wanted to strike the capital. This fortress was Norway's shield. It was a critical piece in a whole network of castles, designed to protect the kingdom's coastline from some powerful and pretty aggressive neighbors. So here's the crucial thing to realize. Akershus was quickly becoming way more than just a military outpost. It was evolving. It was building this dual identity as both a fortress and a palace. And you really have to grasp this two-sided nature to get why it was so important. On one hand, yeah, it was a gritty, functional military base. But on the other, it was the administrative heart of the kingdom and a royal home, a place for politics and fancy court life, all designed to show off the monarchy's authority. And that hall, that was the heart of the royal residence. Just try to picture it back in the 14th century. We're talking about a massive room filled with these intricate stone carvings and all sorts of ornate decorations. The whole point was to totally blow away visitors and just scream, "Look at the immense wealth and power of the Norwegian crown." And this is what just brings history to life for me. That wall, the one built over 700 years ago during a nasty conflict with Denmark, it's still there. You can go see it today. It is a real, tangible link to a moment in time when the kingdom's survival was literally on the line. Okay, so after centuries of being this royal and administrative hub, the fortress was about to face its greatest test ever. We're going to jump forward in time now to a much, much darker chapter, where it was called on to become a symbol for the entire nation. 1940, that's the year everything changed. As German forces began their occupation of Norway during World War II, Akershus Fortress became the setting for a really remarkable act of defiance. And here's the thing, this wasn't just some military tactic, it was this powerful human statement. A small group of soldiers, and they were joined by ordinary civilians, they decided to make their stand inside these ancient walls. They turned a historic symbol into a modern pocket of resistance against a totally overwhelming force. Now, in the end, they were forced to surrender, but their actions echoed so far beyond the fortress walls. Their stand became this potent symbol of the Norwegian will to fight, and it earned them admiration from all over the world for their incredible bravery and determination. So, from that dark chapter, the fortress has emerged into our modern world, not as some somber monument to war, but as something completely different. Let's take a look at what it's become. Thanks to some absolutely incredible restoration work, we get to see the fortress today much like it was centuries ago. Those imposing walls, the towers, the keep, they've all been so carefully maintained. It lets us feel like we're stepping right back into medieval Norway. It's amazing. And today, that history is buzzing with new energy.
I mean, sure, it's a top tourist spot, but it's also this vibrant cultural hub. The very same grounds that once housed soldiers now host concerts, plays, and even medieval jousting tournaments. It's just filling this ancient space with modern life and art.
And that really leaves us with this final thought, doesn't it? The journey of Akershus Fortress, from a royal stronghold to a symbol of resistance and finally to the center for culture, is just truly remarkable. And it makes you wonder, how does a place that was born from the necessities of war transform into a place that celebrates the very best of human creativity?